Hello you lovely people, welcome to my channel and welcome back to my channel. If you've been here before, I'm really sorry. This has been a disaster. This is October 2024. My name's Kirstin and this isn't where I normally craft an art. This is the mess of a desk. There's my laptop and we're currently on that, by the way, is Kirstin. Kirstin is a puffin that my husband brings on holiday with. The long story, I'm not going to bore you with that just now, but this is the cottage we're currently staying in, up in the kind of west coast of Scotland, near Oban, and I'm supposed to be on holiday, but I was going to edit the video which goes out on Wednesday. This is Sunday and I was going to edit it today. And I've discovered that I've got a problem with the file that has my introduction and binding. This is binding weeks. So that's why round at the moment there is no bits and pieces. But in a minute I'm going to edit in the finishing of the cover with the spine bit that finished off the cover. Then I'm going to have a wee chat with you about the binding method, and then I'm going to try and show you a bit of it. I'm really sorry. I hope this works. Fingers crossed. All the details are still going to be down below about the collaboration. Please go and follow everybody's links. There is a draw. You need to comment on everybody's videos, all 4 videos over the 8-week period. So, oh no, all 8 videos over the 4-week period. Just feels like it's been 8 weeks because of this. I'm having to handhold this camera as well, my phone. So I'm really sorry that this is a poor quality video, but I hope you understand that it's the only way to get this video out for you. Right, I'm going to shut up now, and this is my introduction section, and you're going to now get a pre-recorded section with the spine of my cover that I didn't show you when I was making the hardcover. This hardcover was made on last Friday's video with the internal, the covers inside. These covers were made on the video last Wednesday. So I've marked in the centre of my spine down both sides by 3/4 of an inch or a centimetre. And now I'm going to use my Japanese hole punch and I'm going to place over as close as I can to having that right in the centre of that. What I'm wanting to do is cover it with fabric, because I'm going to use these, which are just about long enough. There's not going to be much of them that will fold over, but there'll be just about enough to hold them in place. So this is long enough. Right, so what I want to do is this goes on here and then we'll wrap around like so. And what we want to do is we want to put glue on the cover, on the outside, on the actual spine rather than on the material, just like before. Make sure you get it all the way down, and then I'm just going to lay that down on here. Oops. Try and get it straight, Kirstin. Yeah. Then what I'm going to do is, this is going to be the inside, because that's where that hole's going to be. I'm just going to do a wee, because that's where that hole's going to be, I'm just going to do a wee snip and stick this down, and then it will be going over the other way anyway. And the same this side, just doing a wee snip there, poke through, find my material, poke through that hole, find my hole, poke through, because you can feel it through the material. I've just noticed there's a bit of, that's not folded over very well. Still got time to fix it. Put these in. Yeah, very close to being too, that's okay. It has actually gone, I'll show you in a second. I'm just going to put this other one in first. I'll show you in a second. It has caught. Excellent. Excellent. That was your internal spine. That was pre-recorded. There's a pre-recorded bit that will go at the end, which also didn't get lost. It's only the bit in the middle that was the actual binding that I don't have. So I'm going to have a chat about this. Now, thankfully, because I knew I was going to be away and I was very short of time, I brought my journal to finish with me while I'm away as my kind of relaxing thing. And then just start recording, stops it being relaxing. Lost the hook moment for a minute then. So thankfully I've still got some bits that are in various stages of work. So I'm hoping that might help you understand better. So I tore the pages in half, if you remember. Well, not always in half. And so I have top half signatures and bottom half signatures, and these are bound using the tab method, and that means that you have 2 tabs that go on this page and then on the back of this signature block, and then one that's on this page and goes on the front of this signature block. So I've used the tab method to bind this, and I'm going to try and show you that with the cover, because I then bind the covers in separately, the signature covers in separately. So I'm going to try and show you the tab method doing that. So what I've done is I've bound the pages. I decided which pages I wanted together, and then I've tab bound all these pages together into, so I ended up, I've got 3 full signatures, but I end up with 6 part signatures, 3 bottoms and 3 tops. And this bit I cannot do with one hand, I'm sorry. But then you've got to weave in where your pages go into your signatures, which means pushing some pages down under other pages, and so that you end up, I hope you can see that page is now underneath this page. So you end up with this kind of layer flippy idea in your book, but you have to, I think that one's very clear how this page is now underneath. This page is on top of this page, but the next page, it's underneath that. So you've got to do that kind of weaving down in between the pages until you get to the size of your cover. Now I've not, as you see, I've not decorated this cover yet, but this is the cover I'm going to use for these demonstration purposes. So you can see that it's not, I've just knocked that slightly, knock it slightly this end, so you can see it's just slightly, ever so slightly, you want it virtually the size of the cover. So that cover needs to go now be attached in here. And here's the cover pocket I put in here. This was from the covers, and I've just made, rather than the full pocket, I've just made a tuck from one of the acorns that was one of the covers. I think that was Karen's giveaway on a week past Sunday. So on Karen's cover Sunday, that's the one she gave away. I'm pretty sure that was it. But so that's, and all I've done is I've done it in card, cut it out and made it into a tuck for this cover. Now what I need to do is, now I've made this signature, I now need to put this signature in here. And to do that, now I didn't say that, but I'll say that now, I have used a mixture of leaves, small leaves, these bingo numbers, and bits of fabric, which were a mixture. Mostly when I was doing this, I was using this fabric that I'd made for the spine, but I was also using some other bits of fabric. So I've done a mixture of all those things as my 3 binding points in the signatures. To put the signature, attach it to the signature cover, I'm going to use my foxes, my 3 foxes from that I've used in the main cover. And what I've done is I've actually just torn off pairs, but the pairs are too big, and I'm going to shorten each of these by half a fox. So I'm going to turn you off while I do that, and then I'll be back. Right, let's see if we can do this next bit. The big thing that I'm choosing to do, and you don't need to do this, is I'm having a bigger tab one side and a smaller tab the other side. Normally you'd have an equal tab both sides, but because of the fox, I'm having a bigger tab so that the fox stays. I wouldn't normally have a tab as big as that, but I want it so that the fox is seen. So it would normally only be kind of half a fox wide, but so this is only because of my pattern on my fabric I'm doing that. And what I want you to imagine is, this is tab number, starting from the top, you've got tab 1, tab 2 and tab 3. And tab 1 and 3 you treat exactly the same way. They get stuck to the upside of the signature that you're using. Tab 2 is going to be stuck to the back side of the signature. So tab 1 and tab 3 are stuck to the front, tab 2 is stuck to the back. So I'm going to do that and then I'll be back. So here's the back one stuck on. I haven't stuck it all the way around, as you can see here, because you don't want it stuck on the spine here, otherwise it'll stop the hinge from working properly, because it needs to have a point where it isn't connected to anything so that it will work both ways. I'm showing you this back one at the moment because I had a choice here. I could either just stick it to this bottom bit or stick it to the top bit as well, which would make this a page rather than 2 pages. Now you can, oh, I've got a bit glue seepage there. You can do that, and if you do that, I would suggest you just stuck something on to connect these pages together, maybe at this point here, just so that the pages actually then do act as one page. But you can do it as 2 pages, you can do it as 1 page, you can do it whatever. I haven't got my glue rubber with me, so I just need to give that a good rub off. There we go. Now, this now is the back of the front one. See, that's stuck on there, and this now is the back, and this back one now will be stuck on this back cover. So I'm going to stick these 2 on this back cover, tuck this one under there, and that will go on the front cover. So I'm going to stick them on and I'll be back. When I was flipping backwards and forward, I also noticed, and I hadn't said to you, that I've also used some of these mushrooms. This is from Stacy's freebies for Ephemera Week. That was a background page of mushrooms, and I've also cut them out and used them as some of the hinges. So let's go back and have a look at the front here. Oh, I'm sorry, that's all twisting all round. I'll try, and the mushroom bit's going to be wrong because this bit needs to be like this. And there we go, that's just a wee bit stucking down there, and there's the fabric hinges that side. And if I can just pick them all up, there's the fabric hinges that side, and you can see how they work as a hinge. So that's the fabric hinges bit done. The other part of the binding, you saw me do the interior spine, and the other thing what I've done with that then is, because I've got 3 signatures, I've threaded through 3 bits of binding elastic, threaded them through, I've tied my knot at the front. I then created a bit of a spacer, I don't think you can see that, a bit of a spacer because there's now the thickness of that thread underneath there, and I've stuck this well and truly to the inside spine, this spine, so you can't see the binding. It's hidden binding. You've got this lovely soft hinge, and then we're in with, and you just then very carefully, because it will try and catch on all these bits of leaves, very carefully just slip your signatures into each of your 3 or 5 or whatever. I would normally, this is a traditional way of doing TN, gathering together your TNs, and you can do multiple holes. You can do a hole for each signature. Because I would want to, because of this binding, and because I find that there's less movement of the elastic if you do 1 hole rather than 3. When you get up to 5, you maybe need to do more than 1 hole. But I'm quite happy, especially because I've put these big rivets in. I'm quite happy. Not rivets, are they? No, they're not brads either. You know what I mean. I'm quite happy to put 3 through that, and that'll just that's my back. I hope that all made sense. I truly do. I'm really sorry that I mucked this up. I will, if anybody is confused about it, then please leave a note below, and when I get back home I will do another wee video better explaining the binding, if the tab binding, I mean, I'll end up doing tab binding again. There's plenty of videos out there already for tab binding, so I hope you got enough information to at least go searching, to know what you want to do if you want to do it as well. And my apologies, as I said earlier on, my apologies also because it means there's no hot chocolate. I'm sorry. Next week it's the flip through. I promise there'll be hot chocolate for the flip through. For now, thank you for watching. Here's the ending coming right up. You'll find the links to all the collaborators down below. Please go and visit them, see how their binding's been done. Some of them are doing flip throughs this week, some are doing next week. You will also find details of the kit, 30% off until the end of the month. Both kits, both are mega kits from Stacy and Karin. Also, if you want to enter the free draw, then you need to like and comment on all the collaborators' 4 main videos: signatures, embellishments, covers and bindings. And if you can do all that, then you get entry to draw. All the information is down below. Until next time, whenever that next time may be, maybe next week, maybe on a different video, I'll see you soon. Bye for now.